Hi, I'm John McEnroe, former #1 tennis player, but for right now, I'm the host to beat on The Chair. Welcome to the show that requires mastery of both mind and body to win. Answering tough questions can win you 50,000 pounds, but only if you can stop your heart rate getting too excited at the same time. Now, tonight's contestants have already shown they're bright and they have some control of their hearts, but they'll need all that and more to beat The Chair. In our auditions, each contestant has had to prove they have the depth of knowledge necessary. But that's not enough on its own to beat The Chair. They've also had to show they can control their heart rate. We tested them with a series of shocks designed to see how their heart rate would react. And now the moment of truth is upon them. For the last few hours, they've all been strictly monitored by our medical team, who have accurately recorded each person's resting heart rate. Whatever you do, your heart will betray you on The Chair. Trying to beat The Chair is only for the strong. Is Dave Privata up to the challenge?
My name's Dave Privata. I'm 32 years of age and I live in Devon. I'm a detective sergeant in the police force. My job has taught me to remain calm in any situation or circumstances, from dealing with members of the public who want my assistance to members of the public who maybe don't want my assistance. In my spare time, I go to a lot of different beer festivals. I've drunk loads of different types of real ale, unfortunately, too many for me to remember. I've chosen my mum as my supporter. This was an opportunity for me to get on TV and also bring my mum with me. I've got a good chance of beating The Chair. I'm going to get in there, I'm going to smile. If I win any money, that's a bonus. John, hopefully the next 1,000 rounds of ale will be on you. Cheers. Cheers.
Dave, welcome to The Chair.
Good evening.
All right, we're ready for that big smile for us. What's your motto?
A day without a smile is a day wasted. And judging by the looks of your face, John...
That's me too, exactly.
Yeah, you've done a lot of smiling.
So, you're married, I see. What does Louise think about not being here tonight? Instead of the mum, as they say.
I think she's quite glad. She's a school teacher and she couldn't get time off of school.
All right, Dave, look. Let's get on with it now. You got 7 questions for 50,000 pounds. You got to survive 2 heart stoppers. That sound you hear is your heartbeat. At the moment, it's doing pretty well. You're about 117. But now we're really going to put you under pressure. You ready?
I'm ready, John.
It's game time. Let's do it. Dave, our medics gave you a resting heart rate of 86. Well, you got to get in better shape there, Dave. We're going to give you a safety margin of 70% above that, which gives you a red line rate of 146. Now, you must keep your heart rate under your red line rate during a question. If you don't, you start losing money. You can't answer the question, so the heart rate comes back down. You lose 10 pounds for every second you red line. Now, because I'm in a good mood right now, I'm going to give you 500 pounds to start. Here's your first question, thank you, worth an additional 1,000 pounds. Here it is. Germany, Brazil, Nigeria, France. Which country did England lose to in the 2002 Football World Cup? You may answer the question. You must know that, Dave.
Brazil.
Brazil, Dave, is correct. You've added 1,000 pounds to the total. You're up to 1,500 pounds now. You brought your mom along, Arlene. Arlene, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, John.
Is he normally a well-behaved boy?
Well, he used to pretend he was a person for John McEnroe years ago. He still does from time to time.
He used to pretend he was John McEnroe?
Yeah, I have little tantrums. Only now he's a bit bigger, so the bigger tantrums.
Well, God bless Dave. Dave, here's your second question of 7. The money you win goes up, but I'm going to lower your red line rate by 5% of your resting heart rate. And I'm really sorry about this. Not that sorry, but you lose 20 pounds a second if you redline. Here's question 2 for another 1,500 pounds. Yesterday, today, tomorrow, or tonight. What does the Spanish word mañana mean? You may answer the question. You must have taken a little Spanish in school, right, Dave?
I certainly didn't.
That is not necessarily a good thing.
Neither was picking my mum as my supporter. She's still here.
Arlene,
Yes.
how come you didn't have Dave take Spanish in school?
I didn't think he ever needed Spanish. I didn't think he was going to Spain, but I wish he had now. Come on, David. Come on. Relax.
All I can say is you cannot be serious. I do have Wimbledon to do in about 8 or 9 months. So.
I'm going to say tomorrow.
You know something, Dave? Tomorrow is correct. That's a good guess. Nicely done there, Dave. That brings you up to 3,000 pounds. Now, once again, I'm going to lower that red line rate. Now I take away 30 pounds for each second you redline during a question. Here comes your first heart stopper. This is where you can take your red line rate back up, but only if you think fast. There's no redlining in this. You have 45 seconds to answer as many questions as you can. You can pass, and for each one you get right, I'll give you back a heartbeat. Your time starts now. In mythology, who is the Norse god of thunder?
Thor.
That's correct. What is a young kangaroo called?
Joey.
That's correct. Which footballer scored a hat trick in England's 5-1 win against Germany in 2001?
Michael Owen.
That's correct. In which police station is the drama The Bill set?
Sun Hill.
That's correct. What nationality was fashion designer Coco Chanel?
French.
That's correct. Who sang My Heart Will Go On from the film Titanic?
Pass.
Celine Dion. Which fruit juice is added to champagne to make a Bucks Fizz?
Orange juice.
That's correct. Which girl group have an album called Survivor?
Atomic Kitten.
Destiny's Child. Which scale measures wind speed?
Beaufort scale.
That's correct. How many players are there in a hockey team? It's
5.
too late. The answer was 11, but you got 7 right. So let's hear it for Dave as red line rate goes up. As we see in the TV. Well, that should ease things off a little bit for the moment. Let's crank it up again. If you red line now, you lose 30 pounds a second. This is question 3, and it's for 2,000 pounds. A series of images is going to flash before you, so watch carefully. All right, boys, run it. Question 3 for 2,000 pounds. Spades, hearts, diamonds, or clubs. In the third image, what suit was the playing card? You may answer the question, Dave.
Hearts.
Hearts, let's see if Dave is right. He was right, Dave, all right. Well done. Easy as figuring out a case. 1, 2, 3, 5,000 pounds you got now. Now's your chance to stabilize that total, Dave. That means even if you get a question wrong, you keep the money unless you redline it away. You don't have to stabilize now. You can wait till later, but watch out. If you get a question wrong before you've stabilized, you lose it all. Now, if you don't stabilize now, it's a gamble. You feeling lucky today, Dave?
Well, my general knowledge isn't fantastic. I'm going to stabilize on 5,000.
All right, Dave's going to stabilize here at 5,000 pounds. Let's get on to the big money. Your red line rate goes down again. This time you lose 50 pounds a second if you redline. Here's question 4, worth 3,000 pounds. Gas, coal, petroleum, nuclear power. What resource was OPEC formed to regulate? You may answer the question, Dave.
Petroleum.
Dave, petroleum is correct. It's another 3,000 pounds. Now we're at question 5. This time, if you redline, you lose 100 pounds a second. This question, Dave, is for 6,000 pounds, and it's a list. Now your redline rate goes down again. List 3 of the 5 completed novels by Charles Dickens with a man's full name as the title. You may answer the question.
Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist is correct. 1 down, 2 to go.
So if he wrote fiction novels, he must have written one called John McEnroe's An Ace Tennis Player.
I like you, Dave. You're a good man. Now, the other answers were Barnaby Rudge, David Copperfield, Martin Chuzzlewit, and Nicholas Nickleby.
Yeah.
But the good news, Dave, is you stabilized. You got yourself 5,000 pounds.
Thank you very much.
And I like that last answer to that question. Let's hear it for Dave. Another man, though, has fallen to the chair.
Thank you, George. I was quite surprised at how high my heart rate was. I've never had a good heart rate, and I've never had a good recovery rate. Had my general knowledge been better though, and looking at my heart rate on the screen, what I would have done is try to hold out a bit longer. My mum was absolutely no use whatsoever. I could see my heart rate going up every time she spoke, and hopefully she won't realise that I've finished the show, so I can nip back and catch the train back home.
Let's have another challenger. Samantha West, the chair is waiting.
Hello, my name's Samantha West. I'm 21 years old and I'm a drama student from Middlesex. I'm a very feisty person, I'm a very loud person, I'm a very chatty person. My friends tend to agree with me and they all say that I always want to be the centre of attention. I'm a people's person, I love being surrounded by people. My big passion in the world is shopping. I could shop till I drop. I love going to get a good bargain and I can't think of anything better. I'm not nervous about being on the chair. I see it as a challenge. So bring it on, Johnny. You can't be serious thinking you're going to beat me.
Samantha, welcome to the chair.
Hello.
Now, you love to sing karaoke.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
I don't have a machine, but you're welcome to sing a little a cappella if you'd like. Come on, Samantha.
Oh, Johnny boy, you are gonna be thrashed.
Point to West. I'll give you that, all right? I'm going to be thrashed. Now, listen, if you beat the chair, you're going to win 50,000 pounds. You got 7 questions to get by, a couple hard stoppers. You think you're ready there, Samantha?
I was born ready.
I like that talk. Now it's time for action. It's game time. All right, Samantha, your resting heart rate is 86, so that makes your red line rate 146. Remember, you got to try to stay under it. You're over it now. You don't lose any money till after I've asked the first question. Question 1 will cost you 10 pounds a second if you redline. Since I'm such a nice guy, I'm going to give you 500 pounds to start. This is question 1 worth another 1,000 pounds. Here it is. Florence, Zebedee, Dylan, Dougal. In the children's TV program, The Magic Roundabout, what is the name of the dog? You may not yet answer the question. Just about there, Samantha. may answer the question.
Zebedee.
No, Samantha's not Zebedee. I'm sorry, it's Dougal.
Didn't even read the question.
You didn't read the question.
No, I wasn't looking. I was looking up there.
What were you doing looking up there?
Well, I was trying not to look at you.
There are times when it's a good idea to look at me, okay?
Dougal.
Another casualty of the chair. Let's hear it for Samantha. She was too tough on me.
I did enjoy my experience. Very short-lived, and it should have been longer, but that was my mistake. Frustrated. Very, very frustrated.
So you see, it's rough and it's tough. Maybe Simon King can beat the chair.
I'm Simon King, I'm 36 and I'm a community midwife and I live in Desborough in Northamptonshire. I provide antenatal care and postnatal care, and even sometimes I deliver their babies at home. I always find walking out to the crease when I'm playing cricket quite stressful because I don't want to let my teammates down, but usually after a couple of overs out there I feel okay. I've chosen Ruth to be my supporter on the chair because I met her about 7 months ago and she really has a trick or two to keep me calm. I've always admired John McEnroe, but my message to you, John, is you were just a court jester. Make way for the king.
Simon, welcome to the chair.
Nice to see you, John.
How's that throne feel for the king? Is that all right?
It'll do just fine, thanks.
So, listen, I see you play cricket with a team of dentists.
I do.
That must be some exciting game, huh?
And I found it difficult to find 10 other midwives that play cricket.
All right, Simon, you got 7 questions and 2 heart stoppers to survive, all right? You got to keep your heart rate under control. If you do, you're going to walk away here with 50,000 pounds. All right? If I were you, I'd try and stay calm. But luckily, I'm not you. And you might manage to do it. Are you ready?
I'm ready, John.
It's game time. All right, Simon, your resting heart rate is 75. We're going to up that by 70%. That means your red line rate is 128. As long as your heart rate stays under that, you keep playing and you keep winning money. Question 1, you lose 10 pounds a second if you go over the line. I'm going to give you 500 pounds to start. Here's your first question, worth an additional 1,000 pounds. 10, 12, 20, 24. In the nursery rhyme, sing a song of sixpence, how many blackbirds were baked in a pie? You may answer the question.
24.
24 is correct, son. There's that 1,000 pounds. Now you're up to 1,500. Now I see Ruth is supporting you tonight. Ruth, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, how do you go about calming down a midwife?
Well, obviously, Simon's got his breathing techniques sorted out already with his job, so just tell him to chill out and keep calm. And he's got quite good self-control, John, unlike some people.
Now, that wasn't necessary. All right, from now on, before each question, we're going to lower your red line rate by 5% of your resting heart rate. To make things worse, you now lose 20 pounds a second if you redline. Simon, here's question 2 for 1,500 pounds. Running, shooting, swimming, cycling. Which of these disciplines is not involved in a triathlon race? You may answer the question.
Shooting.
Shooting is correct, sir. That takes you up to 3,000 pounds. You're redlining now, so take a deep breath here, Simon. Your red line rate goes down again. And now we're going to take 30 pounds a second if you redline. Up. Okay, it's heart stopper time. Time for some quick fire questions. This is your chance to win back a few heartbeats and raise your red line rate. Because I'm such a nice guy, there are no red line penalties during this. You got 45 seconds, Simon, to answer as many questions as possible. Each one you get right, I'll give you back a heartbeat. You can pass, and your time starts now. In snooker, how many red balls are there?
15.
That's correct. Which fruit juice is traditionally used in a screwdriver cocktail?
Orange juice.
That's correct. Who wrote the novel Frankenstein?
Shelley.
Correct, Mary Shelley. What is the capital of Norway?
Oslo.
That's correct. Who was the voice of Woody in the 1995 film Toy Story?
Tom Hanks.
That is also correct. How many are in a baker's dozen?
13.
That is correct. Who was the lead singer of the Boomtown Rats?
Bob Geldof.
That's correct. In Greek mythology, who turned everything he touched to gold?
Midas.
That's also correct. What is a young swan called?
A cygnet.
That's correct. How many equal sides does a rhombus have?
4.
That's correct. In cricket, what does LBW stand for?
Leg before wicket.
I'll give it to you. Okay, so you had 11 correct answers, so that's 11 heartbeats. Bringing your red line rate back up to 131. That should make life a little easier. Now's question 3. It's for 2,000 pounds. You still lose 30 pounds a second if you redline. This is a visual question, so watch these images closely. All right, run it. All right, here's your question 3 for 2,000 pounds. Glass, pencil, mirror, or computer. What was broken in the 8th image? You may answer the question.
A pencil.
Let's check and see if Simon's correct. You are correct, Simon. That's another 2,000 pounds. You're up to 5,000 pounds. Now you get the chance to stabilize. That means you keep your money even if you get the next question wrong, unless you redline it away. Now you can stabilize now or later, but watch yourself. If you get a question wrong before you've stabilized, you lose everything. So it's a gamble. Simon, what do you think? What's it going to be? You're going to gamble or are you going to stabilize?
No, I'm going to play safe. I'll stabilize.
All right, that money's secure. Let's press on with the next question. First, we lower your red line rate again. And now it's a 50-pound penalty if you redline. Here's question 4 for 3,000 pounds. Florida, Nevada, Texas, or California? Which state in America is nicknamed the Golden State? You may answer the question. We had to throw one American question in there, right?
I'll say...
Well, you're well under the red line rate, so you got some time to think about it.
It's a bit of a guess.
Maybe you should start guessing before that gets
We'll go California.
California is correct, Simon. Well done. Let's hear it for Simon. Another 3,000 pounds. That takes you up to 8,000. What are your plans for all this money?
Well, Ruth and I plan to get somewhere to live together, so I'd like to give it all to her and she can decide.
Getting smart in your old age, huh?
Hey, listen, I deal with women every day. I know what to do.
All right, here's question 5. It's for 6,000 pounds. And Simon, here's the bad news. I take 100 pounds a second if you redline. You got that heart rate nice and under control right now. But Simon, your red line rate goes down again. Question 5 is a list. Name 4 of the 6 main male members of Monty Python's Flying Circus. You may answer the question.
John Cleese.
John Cleese is correct.
Michael Palin.
Michael Palin is correct.
Terry Gilliam.
Terry Gilliam is also correct. 3 down, 1 to go. You may not answer the question. You gotta get that heart rate under control because you are losing 100 pounds a second. Come on, Simon, you can do it.
Big deep breaths. We're all rooting for you. Come on, Simon. Come on, Simon. You're doing it. Yeah, come on. Big deep breaths.
Come on, put yourself on that cricket field with
That's
those
it. Do it
boring
really
dentists.
well. Keep breathing.
You may answer the question. You may not answer the question. You have to give me an answer if you get down next time. When you stop redlining. Come on, Simon. I don't like the looks of this. Come on, Simon, just relax here. You need to get the answer right, too.
Big deep breaths.
Oh no, Simon. You've lost all that stabilized amount. The other 3 Monty Python members were Graham Chapman, Eric Idle, and Terry Jones. You were a great contestant, but the bad news is you walk away with nothing now. Let's hear it for Simon. Another man defeated by the chair.
Ruth did really well. It was nice to hear her voice. And I'm sorry, Ruth, that we're going to go home with nothing, but we've had a fantastic time. I try and teach my ladies to breathe and to keep them relaxed when they're in labour, but I think I'm going to have to teach them something else because that's obviously no good.
Maybe Sarah Napper has got what it takes to beat the chair.
I'm Sarah Napper, I'm from Coventry, I'm 26 and I'm a trainee solicitor. There can be pressure in the job because sometimes the hours are long and the clients can be demanding, but I quite enjoy that. Steve is my boyfriend, so I thought I'd bring him along to support me. He's the most calm, collected, laid-back man in the world. He's great. Yeah, I trained really hard when I ran the marathon and I did okay, I met my target. Hopefully my heart rate's going to be pretty steady. It was steady when I was running around London, so hopefully it'll be steady in the chair. You don't scare me, John.
Sarah, welcome to the chair.
Thank you.
I see you're a captain of a ladies' football team, is that right?
That's correct, yes. I'm a goalkeeper for our law firm's ladies' football team.
You want to tell everyone what the name of it is?
The name of it is The Amazing Ovaries.
Now, I see you backpacked in 5 continents. Tell me the most exciting moment that you ever had backpacking.
The most exciting moment would probably finding a hyena in the toilets in Uganda. I was out camping and needed to spend a penny in the night. Got out the tent, went to the toilet, there was a hyena in there.
Was it laughing?
It probably was after I left, yeah.
All right, Sarah, your goal is 50,000 pounds. 7 correct answers will get you there. Now, you hear your heartbeat, it's doing pretty well, so keep focused on that. Are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
It's game time. Sarah, your resting heart rate is 81. 70% above that gives us your red line rate of 138. And remember, if you red line on question 1, I'll be taking 10 pounds a second. Now, Here's 500 pounds to start. This is your first question for an additional 1,000 pounds. Oops, I did it again. Bootylicious, whole again, or stop. Which one of these was a #1 hit for Britney Spears? You may answer the question.
Oops, I did it again.
Sarah, you correct. Now that takes you up to 1,500 pounds. I see you've got the boyfriend Steve along tonight.
I have indeed, yes.
Have you guys worked out a plan to beat the chair?
We were just talking about when Sarah ran the marathon, and when I saw her, she'd done about 17, 18 miles, and she was starting to seize up a bit. So I walked along hand in hand with her for a bit, and she went on and did a really good finish. So, you know, hopefully she'll do the same thing now.
All right, enough of that. Sarah, next question. We're going to put up the pressure a little bit by lowering your red line rate by 5% of your resting heart rate. This time you're going to lose 20 pounds a second if you go over the red line. Here's question 2 for 1,500 pounds. Brazil, France, Japan, or Germany? In which of these countries could you catch the world-famous bullet train? You may answer the question.
I believe it's in Japan.
Japan is correct, Sarah. That's another 1,500 pounds. That takes you up to 3,000 pounds. And once again, your red line rate goes down. Now you lose 30 pounds a second if you redline. Uh-oh, that's time for your first heart stopper. You get 45 seconds to push your red line rate back up. Each correct answer equals 1 extra heartbeat. Your time starts now. In darts, what is the maximum score a player can reach with 3 darts?
180.
That's correct. From which country does Gorgonzola cheese originate?
Italy.
That's correct. Who's the Queen's youngest grandchild?
Princess Eugenie.
That's correct. In which ocean would you find Easter Island?
Pacific.
That's also correct. Who was the lead singer of the 1970s band Blondie?
Deborah Harry.
That is correct. Who led the Liberal Democrats before Charles Kennedy?
Pass.
Patty Ashdown. In which country is the novel The Color of Purple set?
The United States.
That's correct. Where in the body does a cataract form?
The eye.
That is correct. Who plays Sharon in EastEnders?
Letitia Dean.
That's correct. What type of animal is George Stubbs famous
Horses.
for? A little late, but the good news, you got 8 correct. That's well done. That brings your red line rate back up to 138. That's going to help you later. Okay, next question. Now remember, if you redline now, you lose 30 pounds a second. This is for 2,000 pounds, and it's visual. Watch these images closely. All right, let's run it. Here's question 3 for 2,000 pounds. Parking, smoking, littering, overtaking. What would you be fined for doing in the 6th image? You may answer the question.
Littering.
Littering, let's see if Sarah's right. She is right! 2,000 pounds more. Sarah, that's well done. That gives you 5,000 pounds. And now you can stabilize. Steve, what do you think?
I think we should stabilise. We can use this money for Barcelona, where we're going this weekend.
Sarah, more importantly, what do you think?
I'm going to stabilise the money now.
All right, Sarah's stabilized at 5,000 pounds. So that money's safe unless you redline it away. But your heartbeat is well under control right now. Next question. Your redline rate is going down again. Now it's 50 pounds a second if you redline. Here's question 4. It's worth 3,000 pounds. George Bernard Shaw, Oscar Wilde, Harold Pinter, or Samuel Beckett? Which of these playwrights was not born in Ireland? You may answer the question.
I can think of 2 that were. I don't think Harold Pinter was.
Harold Pinter is correct. Very well done. That's an additional 3,000 pounds. It takes you to 8,000 pounds. Now you're going to end up with all this money. What are you going to do with it besides go to Barcelona?
I'm going to learn how to skydive.
All right, you got 3 questions left and a heart stopper to get through, so good luck. Next question, this time you lose 100 pounds a second if you redline. It's question 5. It's for 6,000 pounds, and it's a list. List 4 of the 7 different first names of kings who have ruled Great Britain since the year 1400. You may answer the question.
Charles.
Charles is correct.
James.
James is correct.
George.
George is correct.
And Edward.
Edward is also correct. The other 3 were Henry, Richard, William. All right, that's another 6,000 pounds. We're going to drop that red line rate again, and it gets worse. Uh-oh. That's time for your second heart stopper. Anything can happen now, and you've got to try and survive this for 20 seconds without redlining. Your redlining costs you 100 pounds a second. Didn't lose a penny. Question 6 is coming up. You're 5 down and 2 to go. Only 2 away from beating the chair. This one is for 12,000 pounds. A Life Less Ordinary. The Mask. She's the One. My Best Friend's Wedding. What was Cameron Diaz's first film? You may answer the question.
It was The Mask.
You know something, Sarah? The Mask is correct! That's it for Sarah. She's run away. That's another 12 grand. Up to 26,000 pounds. Now, Sarah, are you ready to go for the big one?
Yes, I am.
Crowd, are we ready to see Sarah win 50,000 pounds? I dropped the red line rate this one last time. And you do pay a high price for redlining now. It'd be 500 pounds a second. Now, you need to calm down, Sarah, because you are redlining right now. You're not going to lose any money till after I finish this final question. There you go.
We're talking.
Let's listen to Steve here.
Question's just another question, just as if it's the first one.
Just another question.
There you go.
50,000 pounds. Mere bag of shells.
I'm holding your hand, honest.
This one's for 24,000 pounds to total up to 50. Here it is. Red and blue. Green and white. Red and white. Green and blue. Which 2 colors are used on the Austrian flag? You may answer the question.
Red and white.
Red and white is correct, sir! Congratulations to Sarah Napa. She has gone all the way 50,000 pounds.
I like it. So I'm holding your hand. I'm holding your hand. I thought, yeah, I can feel you holding my hand. Oh, wow, that was brilliant.
Does this mean I've got to learn skydiving as well?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I really enjoyed myself when I was up there, so the time went very quickly, so I'd say don't take any of McEnroe's cheek and go with the flow.
So let's see if Jason Crosby can beat the chair.
My name is Jason Crosby. I'm 31 years old and I come from Jarrow, Tyne-and-Wear. I enjoy playing golf. I don't take it that seriously though. What I tend to do is just go down the driving range, belt a few balls about, just To prepare for the chair, I started reading a book on yoga, but I fell asleep halfway through it. I was that calm anyhow. My supporter is my brother Gary. The reason I've brought Gary along, we do a lot of things together, but he's big and I think he'll frighten John McEnroe. John, you might be able to scare your opponents by throwing your rackets around, but that ain't gonna scare me.
Jason, welcome to the chair.
Hello, John.
All right, you're a customer services supervisor. Tell me about that job.
That's right. I work with a team of 12 customer service representatives and I deal with the more complex queries. So if they start shouting at me, I just sit there nice and calm.
As if I would shout at him, right? I wouldn't do that, would I? But I see finally here you're a supporter of Sunderland.
Yeah, I am. I'm a huge Sunderland supporter, so in the last few years I've learned to be patient and wait for things to come along.
You're struggling a bit, right?
We are, yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
You keep your mind on your heart rate. This is what it's doing now.
Right.
You just answer 7 questions, you can win £50,000. If you mess one up and get it wrong, you're out of here with nothing. We're gonna put you under pressure with 2 heart stoppers. Are you ready?
I am, John.
It's game time. Our medical tests have given us your resting heart rate of 81. We're going to give you a safety margin of 70%, which gives you a red line rate of 138. You keep your actual heart rate under that, you keep winning money. All the time you're above the red line, you lose money. On the first question, it's 10 pounds a second. I'm going to give you 500 pounds to start. Here's question 1. It's worth 1,000 pounds. Robert Bannister, Richard Bannister, Roger Bannister, Raymond Bannister. Who was the first man to run a mile in under 4 minutes in 1954? You may answer the question.
That would be Roger Bannister.
Roger Bannister is correct, Jason. All right, you got that 1,000 pounds. You're up to 1,500. Now, you've brought Big Gary with you. How's he going to help? Gary, how are you?
I'm fine, John.
You're not going to beat up on me, are you?
No, not yet. You be nice to me.
When
brother.
Exactly are you going to do that?
You be nice to me, brother John, and I'll be nice to you.
It sounds like a fair deal, but it also sounds like a threat. I don't like being threatened. Does Jason have good self-control, by the way?
He does, John. Very good self-control. He's that laid back he needs a hammock.
All right, because it's going to get tougher.
He can handle it.
The longer he survives, because before each question, we're going to lower your red line rate by 5% of your resting heart rate. This time, you lose 20 pounds a second if you redline. Jason, here's question 2 for 1,500 pounds. Elderberry, cranberry, juniper, or blackberry? Which berry is used to give gin its flavor? You may answer the question.
I think that would be the juniper berry.
That is correct, Jason. You've added 1,500 pounds more. You're up to 3,000 pounds. We're going to lower that red line rate again. Now we take away 30 pounds for each second you redline. It's going to get a little tougher. Uh-oh. It's time for your first heart stopper. You can win back a few heartbeats here to add to your safety margin. If you redline, here's the good news. It doesn't cost you anything. Jason, you got 45 seconds to answer as many quick-fire questions as possible.
Right.
Each one you get right, I'll add a heartbeat to your red line rate. Are you ready?
Yes, John.
Here we go. Who wrote the novel Sense and Sensibility?
Charles Dickens.
Jane Austen. What is a creature called which eats only plants?
Herbivore.
That's correct. In the human body, how is a clavicle better known?
Chest.
Collarbone. How many players are there in a netball team?
10.
7. Who played Lieutenant Mitch Buchanan in the TV series Baywatch?
David Hasselhoff.
That is correct. What flavor is the alcoholic drink amaretto?
Pass.
Almond. Which animal sculptures are at the foot of Nelson's column?
Lions.
That's correct. Which mountain overlooks the South African city of Cape Town?
Table Mountain.
That is correct. Which comedian is known as the Big Yin?
Billy Connolly.
That is also correct. In which film did Tom Hanks say life is a box of... The answer was Forrest Gump. Jason, you got 5 right, so that adds 5 heartbeats to your red line rate, which is now up to 135. That should make things a bit easier as we get further into this game. Question 3, and remember, if you redline now, you still lose 30 pounds a second.
Right.
This is a visual question for 2,000 pounds, so watch carefully. Let's do it. Question 3 for 2,000 additional pounds. 1, 2, 3, or 4. In the 9th image, how many sun loungers were there? You may answer the question.
I think there was 3.
Jason, let's see if you're right. You were right, Jason. Well done. Jason's right for another 2,000 pounds. That brings your total up to 5,000. You get the chance to stabilize that money. That means if you decide to stabilize, you can keep the money even if you mess up on the next question. But guess what? You can still redline it all away. Now, if you wait and try to stabilize later, you could lose everything before you get there. It's a gamble. Audience, what do you think Jason should do? Should he... The audience thinks he should gamble, Jason. What do you think?
I think I'll just stabilise where I am now, John, but I'll keep going.
All right, Jason stabilized at 5,000 pounds. Next question. First, we drop that red line rate again. Now you drop 50 pounds a second if you go over. Here's question 4 for 3,000 pounds. Vincent van Gogh, Thomas Gainsborough, Frans Hals, Lucian Freud. Who painted The Laughing Cavalier? You may answer the question.
I think that would be Thomas Gainsborough.
Thomas Gainsborough is incorrect, Jason. The correct answer was Frans Hals. But here's the good news, all right? You're going home with the stabilized amount of 5,000 pounds. You've been beaten by the chair, but you get some money. Jason, thank you very much. The old story, the chair wins again. Gary, take care. I took it easy on the brother, all right?
I feel great. I managed to keep my heart rate under control. It was just a question. I didn't really have an idea. It was just a guess. With the money, I'll probably just blow a few pounds on something silly.
Tonight, Sarah Napper defeated the chair and walked away with the big prize, 50,000 pounds. Next week, more contestants will be here trying to do the same. But to win, you too will have to beat the chair.